Good morning and welcome to the final head teacher broadcast of the term. It is Monday the 28th of March. And I'm going to start straight off with this week's squad challenge, which was that you were looking to be doing random acts of kindness. And some really good entries from Squad Disney and from Squad Martin Luther King and also from Squad Hawken. But unfortunately, you guys have not won because retaining their title of the winner of the Squad Random Acts of Kindness, which they managed to do back in November 2020, was Squad Alpha. They've put together a brilliant video that explains and shows all the examples of random acts of kindness that they did last week. So well done to Squad Alpha, and you'll get your chocolate later on this week. As will another squad who I met on Thursday morning. I met with Squad Rosa Parks, who were explaining to me some of their ideas for a new reward system. So I've already met Squad Hagrid, who gave me some brilliant suggestions for S1 to S3. But what Squad Rosa Parks did was that they identified that perhaps different year groups would want different types of rewards. So we'll incorporate some of their suggestions into a reward programme that we'll hopefully introduce next term. Hopefully next term we'll see a reduction in the number of COVID cases. You might be forgiven for thinking that maybe the pandemic is over, but in fact it hasn't, and I haven't given you some statistics for some time. And just to let you know that since the start of August last year, 317 pupils have tested positive for COVID. That represents 35% of the school population, and we're up to 37 members of staff. The number of cases per 100,000 in the last 7 days in Aberdeenshire that have tested positive is 1,622. So the case numbers are still very, very high. So it's important that we still follow the mitigations that we've got in place, particularly washing your hands regularly and using the hand sanitisers. After the Easter holidays, we continue to do that and continue to be wearing face masks in the corridor. Just in terms of the start of the new term after the holidays, it will be an expectation that all S1 to S3 pupils are back in full school uniform. We'll be writing to all parents at the end of this week just to remind you of that. And of course, there will be a link between wearing school uniform and the reward system that we've got in place. S4 to S6 pupils will not be required to wear uniform after the holidays, as they'll be going into their exam phase. But then at the change of timetable, when everyone moves up a year, which is at the 30th of May, then we'll be looking for every single pupil at Banff Academy to be wearing uniform again, and we'll be back to a full uniformed school. So look out for social media for information about that, but there is the expectation that all pupils in S1 to S3 are back in school uniform after the Easter holidays. Now, in terms of the Easter holidays, what I would advise S4 to S6 pupils is to use that time as effectively as you possibly can, and I'm afraid that does mean revision. But the good idea there is to put together a revision plan. But the most important thing about a revision plan is to stick to it. So don't make it too ambitious. The best way I find that if you're going to do something like that is to split the day up into 3 different components. Before lunchtime, the afternoon, and then the evening, and take 1 full third of that day off to do whatever it is that you want to do, to relax, just to chill out, but then take the other 2 thirds to do some serious studying. So if you're not a morning person, take the whole morning off and then work in the afternoon and the evening. And likewise, if you're not an evening person, then work in the morning and the afternoon, and then you can take the evening off. But whatever it is, stick to your revision plan. If you've got a part-time job and you're working in the evening, well, that's the time that you've chosen to take off. So, studying in the morning and the afternoon, and then your part-time job. But try and cut back on the number of shifts that you're doing in terms of the part-time job in order to make sure that you get that revision done. In terms of S1 to S3, I would be looking for you in the Easter holidays to maybe try something new. Maybe try something out that you haven't done before in terms of a hobby. So it might be, taking photographs or trying out a new sport or something, and then share it with your squad when you come back. And try and make a full use of the 2 weeks. I hope the weather is as good as it has been this last weekend, and that you really do have a good break. And to my colleagues, thank you so much for all the work that you've done this term. It's been a particularly challenging one with COVID still on the go, and all of the difficulties with the SQA and indeed with the roof blowing off. So hopefully less next term will be a little bit calmer and a little bit easier, but I'm not so sure about that because we've got lots and lots to do next term. So in the meantime, I hope you have a good holiday, and there won't be a squad challenge for next week because we'll be on holiday, and I'll be in touch just after we come back. Thank you very much.